Hey, Uniquely Cindy here with Roadside Cemeteries. I am back in Maplewood. I wanted to show you a couple of different things while I was out here today. Maplewood is a huge cemetery. It is 28 acres and I've got some history on it. If you'll watch some of my previous videos on Maplewood, you'll see that I have some history on Maplewood Cemetery. But there's some things here I wanted to show you, beginning with this tombstone that's here in front of me. This is what is called a pulpit tombstone. And if you'll look at it very closely, you'll see that it's made to look like a pulpit, thus the names. It looks like a podium that you would set your Bible on. And on top of this tombstone, there is a book. Now, it doesn't have any name on the book, but you can see roughly the edges of the book where it was carved out, and it's sitting here on the podium, and it's got the piece there to hold the book in place, and it's just a beautiful piece of artwork. One thing about tombstones and cemeteries, never go into a cemetery and not appreciate the artwork, because in the Victorian era they did artworks. Going to a cemetery was like art. You took your family up until Victorian era, you had your farm plots and your private cemeteries, but as the growth of cities came into play, then people started buying plots in city cemeteries. The custom of having the benches at the grave sites and all was all part of being part of the city cemetery. And these were family plots, and I'm going to show you. You can look right over here and you'll see that this family plot is marked out with cement. Well, the custom of the day was families would come to the cemeteries in the on Sundays especially, or Saturday afternoons, and they would have a picnic and spend time with both their family and their relatives that were members now of the cemeteries. Thus became the custom of picnicking in cemeteries. This was a Victorian thing. In Europe, a lot of the big cemeteries has actual places where you'll see walking paths, and you'll see the places with benches and chairs where people just go and sit and enjoy the beauty of the cemeteries. And so the cemeteries took on a form of artwork all their own. You can look back here in the background and you see this beautiful piece of artwork back here. Obelisks were very popular, as you'll see here. And there's some huge obelisks out here in the cemetery. The beautiful trees and all that are out here. Just to come out here and walk is a pleasure. Now, as time went on and the wars came into place, then you saw less. Originally, the cemeteries, as you'll see, we're coming up to one now, had iron railings around the family plots. But as the war came into place and they needed the iron to help with the war projects, these iron fencing went out of style because they needed the iron, the governments needed the iron, and you came more to the concrete barriers, until now you don't even see barriers anymore. It's just graves being buried next to each other. As far as big family plots, I have not seen a lot anymore in our era. I'm sure some places have them, but most of them now are just gone to burials side by side, without any type of markers other than their headstones. And now, of course, the custom of cremation is very popular. And a lot of cemeteries now are opening cremation plots, which is little squares in the ground where you can bury the urns, or they actually have the cement buildings where you can set your urns in these buildings. I wanted to bring you over here to this one. You can see the wrought iron. This one has survived. And if you'll look, the tombstones have been laid down on top of the graves because as time has gone on, they have broken off. So to preserve them, they have laid them down on top of the graves here. And these graves go back to the 1800s. This is the Hines family. There are just so many beautiful plots out here. But the next time you're in a cemetery, pay attention to the artwork. This is the one I was trying to show you a few minutes ago and I couldn't get the words out. The big urns sitting on top of the obelisk was something else that was very popular during the Victorian era. And then here's just a normal obelisk. The obelisk came across, of course, we know, through the Egyptian influence of the 1920s. I'm sorry, kind of paused there for a minute. Here is a beautiful memorial with a cross on top of it. Now if you'll look here, you'll see a stonework, and that stonework has a little lamb on top. Now lambs represented innocence, and you usually only saw them on children's graves or the very elderly. Most often the children, but you will find them on some elderly graves. So once again, more artwork within the cemeteries. Beautiful place to come, explore, admire, just be reverent and honor. I'm going to give you a quick breeze around. You'll see the war memorial back there. Of course, I've mentioned that in one of my previous videos, and that is also on top of a mass grave. So check out my videos. You'll see the ones that I have on Maplewood Cemetery, and they have some history, and I have done a small video telling more about the history of Maplewood. It's going to be uploaded probably late this evening or tomorrow, so that you will see more about the cemetery. I saw a grave walking over here a minute ago I wanted to take y'all back to. Let me zoom y'all out so you can see more. And some of these, especially the ones that's buried under these big oak trees and all, the moss and the changing of the season has covered, and they're hard to read. Another thing that was very popular during the Victorian era was the tree trunks. And they're very, very artistic in their design. This one over here is very beautiful, very detailed. You can see the flowers, and it's made to look like it's in a potted plant. It's growing up the side of the tree trunk. And it says Sally. I can't make out the last name. Wife of J.B. Looks like Hines. I need to start bringing some etching stuff with me so I can etch some of this, and it makes it easier to tell y'all a little bit more about them. There is also, I saw it earlier, but it's back way over in that corner of the cemetery, a pauper's cemetery out here, and it's just marked with row and row of little stones. No names or nothing, just numbers for individuals that either didn't have the money to be buried or they were unidentified. This little grave right here I thought was so interesting, so I wanted to come and see what it was. It says Eddie Young. Look at the beautiful rose on it. Infant son, Dozier, age 3 months and 28 days, in 1885. How sad, but how beautiful. It's a lovely memorial. Old cemeteries are masterpieces unto themselves. The art, the epitaphs, they're just wonderful. So once again, this is Uniquely Cindy taking you on a unique journey. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like and subscribe below. Leave a comment if you know of a grave I need to check out, know of a place I need to check out, or just want to add to what I've already said. Leave a comment below. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you'll know every time I upload a new video as we go on this unique journey. Once again, this is Uniquely Cindy. Have a unique afternoon.